Some of the views expressed on the Mormon Channel are solely for the education and inspiration of our audience and may not represent the official position of the Church.
We believe in God, the Eternal Father.
We believe in the Bible to be the Word of God.
We believe in being honest, true, chaste, benevolent, virtuous.
We believe that through the atonement of
men.
Christ, all mankind
We
will
also
be saved
believe the
by
Book of Mormon to be the
obedience
Word
law.
of God.
We may say that we follow the admonition of Paul. We believe all things. We hope all things. We have endured many things.
Welcome to Why I Believe. I'm Rick Starr. Today we are pleased to have with us the Dutton family from Branson, Missouri. They own the world-famous Dutton Theater in Branson, Missouri, and they have just returned from a tour on a cruise in Alaska to join us here on Why I Believe. And it's an honor to have the patriarch and the matriarch of the Dutton family, Dean and Sheila, and then you've got 3 of your children, and 1 daughter-in-law and a grandchild. So we're happy to have you all here.
We actually have 4 of our children.
4
here.
of your children,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So it's great to have you here. Thanks for taking the time. You've actually been driving all night from Seattle, and you took time to stop in here to see us here at the conference center.
Thanks for welcoming us with such a great smile, Rick.
Well, thanks for all being awake. You guys look great this morning.
Thank you.
We're excited. We're going to talk about some of your experiences. You own a theater and an inn in Branson, Missouri, which is, of course, known for being a destination for anybody who wants to hear great music in the country. And you have put together a great situation there with a theater and an inn, and people just love to watch the Dutton family. I didn't mention also in the introduction, you were also finalists in America's Got Talent in 2007. You came in 8th, and you were invited back for the finale of the America's Got Talent that season. And you've also had a number of PBS specials, so this is really great to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
Why don't we go around and introduce each of you, starting with Mom and Dad, and then we'll go around so that everybody gets to know you a little bit. So whichever one of you wants to start.
I'm Dean Dutton, the father.
I'm Sheila Dutton. I'm the grandmother and the mother.
And then why don't we go from here on, oldest to youngest of those who are here with us.
So that would be me, Tim. I'm the oldest of the siblings.
And my name's Amy. I'm the 3rd child in the family.
I'm Jonathan, number 4.
Jonathan, the driver from Seattle.
Yes.
Yes, he drove all night long. My name is Benjamin. Thank you so much.
Great.
And I'm Judith. I'm Tim's wife.
And my name's Jessica. I'm the oldest grandchild.
All right. And we also have Rudy over there in the corner, who is Amy's husband, also joining us.
He's the family attorney.
Yes. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Each one of you have important jobs in managing this business, which I think is really impressive. So we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. But before we do, let's go back a little bit in time. We need to talk to Mom and Dad about how did this all start? Because, Brother Dutton, you were a professor
Right.
at a couple of universities.
I was a professor of economics at BYU for 25 years before we started performing full-time professionally.
Wow. And so what was the catalyst? What made you want to transition into the entertainment business?
The beginning of it was a couple of friends happened to drop by one evening and told about having their kids enrolled in violin lessons with the Suzuki method. And after talking about that, what a great opportunity it was for your kids to learn music, that was quite appealing to us, something that would provide a really lovely dimension of life and discipline in the lives of the kids, something that you have to do every day. So we decided at that point that we wanted all of our children to participate in that experience. So we enrolled our children in violin lessons, each one of them beginning at somewhere between ages 3 and 5. And then for years, every morning before school, we would get up with the kids and practice the violin.
And
yes,
was that a joyful experience?
Always joyful. We'd get up at 6 in the morning with just smiles on our faces and
just anxious to get started.
Wait.
Hop up out of bed.
From time to time, we would be presented with the question, when can I quit violin lessons? And our answer was always, well, after your mission, you're free to quit.
So you're 3 years old and you're saying...
And by the time you get that age, of course, you've already decided what you want to do, and we all wanted to continue playing. And we are all grateful, very grateful to our parents for giving us the opportunity to learn music. It's really enriched our lives.
Yeah, the element that my parents were looking for was to teach us how work ethic and what something to do. My mom has shared several times that she knew farm children and people who'd been raised on farms, and she talked with mission presidents who said that they generally were the most disciplined missionaries because they knew how to work hard, and they wanted. Since we lived in the city, we weren't able to live on a farm. My dad taught at Brigham Young University, and so they thought that the violin would provide a good way that we could learn how to work hard every morning. And looking back on it, I really wouldn't change anything. I really, really appreciated my parents sitting with us. They would get up. My mom's a fantastic motivator. She would make up games, and my mom and my dad, they never studied music. Seriously. My mom had never had a music lesson, yet she sat with us and she learned how to kind of play the notes on the piano and would make it fun for us. But just that time with my parents is, I'll cherish that forever, that they cared enough to take that time and sacrifice their time to make sure that we got something more out of life.
Thank you, Benjamin and Amy. Thank you for those comments.
You're welcome.
What's interesting is you pull up your videos on the internet. It's not just the fiddle anymore, or the violin, I guess we should say, formally. If I can go through some of the instruments that you all trade off and play, each of you play, the fiddle, the banjo, the mandolin, the guitar, there's percussion, there's dancing. What else is there that I'm missing? There's a few other things.
Well, we also do, the viola and then the electric instruments as well, like the electric bass, electric guitar. Are we forgetting any others?
Well, and something that we do in the live shows that we haven't focused so much on the PBS special side and things is we do a bit of comedy in the show as well.
Oh, that's great.
And there's the upright acoustic bass that essentially everyone plays. That is, all of the kids play, and Sheila plays that, as well as the electric bass guitar.
That's great. Yeah, I remember seeing on the video, I think it was Tim who was playing the bass and spinning it around, the upright bass.
Yeah, we started with the classical violin as our main foundation. We learned some piano in the early years as well. And then we were introduced to the bluegrass music, and we thought that was a ball. We started learning mandolin and banjo, and then a little bit later, guitar and bass. And we convinced Mom and Dad to play with us on guitar and bass as we did the fiddles, and that was our beginning, was the Dutton Family Bluegrass Band. And it just all snowballed from there. We never intended to end up in Branson with our own theater. It was just something for us to have fun and enrich our lives, and we enjoyed performing together. We would do little ward parties and things like that.
And this was all in Provo, right?
It just grew from there into going on the road, and and became what it is today, where we have our theater and perform every day.
And now the genres of music is quite wide. We, for example, in our current show, which is our 20th anniversary show, we've been doing about 300 live shows a year for the last 20 years straight. And so this is the show this year, the Best of the Duttons, our most requested songs. But for example, the first song, we start out with a bluegrass song. The next song is a swing song. Then you can hear old-time rock and roll songs into classical, into gospel, and folk, all sorts of different genres that it's fun to do because it kind of reaches all audiences.
Oh, that is great. It's really blossomed, hasn't it?
Yes, and I, for one, was not prepared for it to go in that direction. When Timothy particularly just loved every instrument he saw. He just had to learn the different instruments that he was introduced to, and the excitement. I still remember the day that he came home from school and said, I'm not sure that I have enough time for football practice and music, and I think I'm going to choose music. And I was so surprised. And as the children started really loving music, I was the one who said, now, wait a minute. We're not going to be musicians. This is not what the purpose was, to teach discipline, but it was not going to take over our lives. And I remember on one period, because I actually thought that it was kind of maybe, I don't know what the word is, frivolous, or that we would stand up and perform in front of people. I thought that I didn't see a whole lot of value in that in the beginning. There was one point in my life where I was serving as a Stake Relief Society president, and there was times when my mind would be at rest and ideas would come, and those ideas were always how to help the children with their music. And this went on for 2 or 3 months, and finally one day it just struck me, what is going on here? I went in my bedroom and knelt down and asked the Lord why these thoughts were coming to my mind when I thought I should be working in a different direction. And the Spirit indicated to me that I would be released from my current calling in the church, and that I was to support the children in the music that they were loving and wanted to do. And that was a big surprise in my life because it was a little out of the ordinary. And then as we started performing more and more internationally and outside of the state, even then it was always going to be, after this semester, we'll stop. Or when Timothy goes on his mission, we'll stop. And I had to be gradually taught by the Lord the value of our family performing together for us and for those people that we perform for. And there was a series of spiritual experiences which tutored me in the fact that this is what the Lord wanted us to do. But we were literally pulled into this experience by the experiences that the Lord provided, which I think is an awesome look back on history.
Hey, Mom, why don't you tell that story about the gentleman in the rest home?
Well, very early on, when I was extremely reluctant to be performing, we did a rest home in American Fork, I believe it was, and it was a very sweet experience. There was one gentleman right on the front row that was loving the music, and just his face was so bright, such joy on his face. And as we were going out to the car and loading the instruments in, one of the nurses, one of the attendants there at the rest home, followed us out, and she said, I just want to share something with you and thank you for coming. The gentleman that you saw on the front row, he says, that's the first time I've ever heard him speak.
Really?
And we all climbed in our car and shed a few tears and thanked the Lord for the opportunity to bring happiness. And that was just the beginning of many, many beautiful experiences of people sharing their joy that they found through music. And so I was converted to the idea.
As I remember, it seems like every time that we were thinking, let's just kind of stop this, that we would have another beautiful experience. And as a child, I remember that that evening, it was a Friday night, I think, and I was only 9, maybe 8 or 9, but I wanted to be with my friends, and I really didn't want to be there. But then we had that experience, and I remember it had an impact on me. I was selfish, wanting to do my own thing, but there was these people who didn't they may not have had people visiting them, or they're in this rest home. And to know that it affected this man's life so much, she also went on to say that she really hadn't seen him smile before, and he was so into the music. And one time we were in Europe, we were doing shows. This was in, I think, '89 when we did that. We did some shows to benefit the homeless. Is that in '89, Mom?
I believe so.
As kids, we just kind of did things, and we did some stuff for the church, but I didn't think much of it. We were doing the show in France through this food kitchen called Restaurant du Cœur, which means Restaurant of the Heart. And we were performing for this group of people, and these widows came up afterwards, and they were crying, and they said, nobody has ever done anything like this for us in our lives. Just to hear what that did for them, it had a huge impact on me, and what doing music and doing something good together as a family, no matter what it is, can do for others. So that's one of the reasons why I believe in working together as a family.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let's remind our listeners you're listening to Why I Believe on the Mormon channel of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And today our guests are the Dutton family, and we only have a portion of the Dutton family here. There's about 9 of us in the room, which pretty much fills out the room, but there's many more of you, aren't there? We only have 4 of the siblings represented. There's 2 others. Is that correct?
Yes.
We have 7 biological children
and
and 7
so
adopted
others.
children. So we actually have 14 children. But of the adopted children came into our lives through the music as older teenagers. But the original performing group, there are 7.
And now you've got the grandchildren involved?
Yeah. My parents... We just had the 23rd grandchild. My sister Abigail, actually there are 3 of us, not 3 of the biological children that aren't here. My younger sister Abigail is in Branson. She just had her baby 3-4 weeks ago.
That's right.
4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago.
Wow. That's incredible. That's great. There's a lot of sacrifice in this, it seems like, but the payoff really seems great, that you're bringing joy into people's lives, sometimes who haven't had joy for a long time. Seems like.
Well, just something that I was thinking about while we were talking was just the joy of, like you say, being able to meet people or whatever after the show. But the rewarding thing is that we get to work together as a family, and I believe really strongly. And if any family can come together with one purpose and work hard at something, whatever it is. And with us, it happens to be our profession, doing music, that the Lord will bless us. And we see it every day. And just being able to bring a smile to somebody's face is, the reward that I feel. And it's really, really wonderful to hear just people's comments, just, you've made me so happy. And I don't know why, I feel so good, and it's wonderful. And I have the thought, I might not say it, but I have the thought that, the Spirit has touched me and it's touched this person that I was talking to. And I feel that the Lord has blessed us because we're doing something together as a family. And I want to pass that on to my children. We get to have the grandchildren, my parents' grandchildren in the show as well. And they get the opportunity to work with us, and they get the opportunity to usher at the theater, or they get the opportunity to sell popcorn at the concession stand, as well as be in the show. And
so they're all
the joy
cross-trained.
it brings them true joy. They actually, they get so excited that they get paid to do this and to be able to. They love to usher. They love to. Abigail, my sister that's not here, the other week, for the first time, she taught Gracie, her oldest, how to clean a hotel room. We own a hotel.
Wow. Yeah.
And Gracie told her mom that she wants to go into hotel management.
Really?
And she's 8 years old. And she's like so excited.
Oh, that's
so this is,
forward-looking.
it was just really, really neat. So anyway, we just have the opportunity of giving. I feel that it's a gift. My parents gave us a gift, even though we might not at a young age have seen it, saw it that way. But I look at it that we are giving our children something, and I think that's really important nowadays. With all the things going on in the world, that we need to give our children that.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And you talked about the blessings that come. I feel so grateful. One thing that I'm so grateful for is the chance that I have as an adult with children. I have 4 children and a beautiful wife, Brandy, to not only have such a close relationship with my wife and children, but to have such a close relationship with my parents, have them involved in my life and my children's life, and then have such a close relationship with my brothers and sisters and my nieces and nephews, but particularly my relationship with my parents. And I just would encourage all the listeners to seek to have a close relationship with their parents. They'll always be our parents. It's been such a huge blessing in my life. They have so much more experience and wisdom, and they love us so much. To be able to, as an adult, to go to them and ask their advice and have that experience and just ask how they did something. And my father, throughout this whole process, all of our lives, even now, I love going to him for counsel and personal priesthood interviews, and he'll keep reminding us, remember that all that we have is from the Lord. It's not because of what we've done, not because of this, but we need to just remember that all the blessings that we have come because the Lord has blessed us, and to keep that gratitude in our hearts. But I am very grateful for that in my life.
That is wonderful. I want to talk about what you just mentioned, Benjamin, about the aspect of the gospel in your lives, that portion of your lives, and how you weave that into your business and your entertainment. I want to talk about that in just a minute. But before I do, just so listeners can get a picture of what you do, you're not just on the stage. Let's go around the room and just talk about what each of your jobs are behind the scenes, and then also talk about what the other siblings and the grandchildren, some of the other things that are involved in this type of business. So let's start with you, Jonathan. Besides being the tour bus driver, which you've been doing all night.
You can also mention what your spouse does in the business as well.
Okay, yeah. I've let's see, been married. It'll be 14 years here in December, and my wife and I work. We help oversee the hotel that we run. When we bought our theater in Branson, it came with the hotel, kind of a package deal that was on the property with the theater, and so we run that. My wife is also the bookkeeper, does a lot of the bookkeeping for the business, and then I also work with a lot of the technical sides of things, with the video at the theater. We sell DVDs of each of our shows live, and some of the technical behind the scenes things.
Wow!
And then I'm on stage.
And what instruments do you play?
I play the banjo and the bass, mostly in the show, and then the violin. Of course, I started on the violin when I was 5, and then I play a little bit of lots of instruments.
Do you have a principal instrument that you play?
Mostly, probably the bass is what I play more than anything else, along with Mom. Mom plays the bass too. We kind of switch off, and then the banjo and.
He can play everything. He's being very modest. He's really good at all the different instruments.
Yeah, Jonathan is kind of a key banjo player in the show. He also plays the guitar a fair bit in the show.
Oh, that's great.
Well, he plays a whole lot of them in the show.
Well, if you watch your videos, you all trade off quite a bit.
Yeah, well... Well, one thing I learned is if any single brothers out there listening, learn the banjo. That's a good way to pick up the girls.
Pick up the girls.
That's how I wooed my wife, was with my banjo playing.
I'm trying to picture romance.
Yes.
Brother Dutton, what's your principal's job as overseer?
Well,
of this,
there are actually 3 of us that drive the bus. We drove directly here to this interview, arriving about a half hour before it started from Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove until 2:30 this morning, and then Jonathan took over, and he drove the rest of the way from just a little west of Boise on into Salt Lake. So that the 3 of us that trade off and drive the bus are Timothy, Jonathan, and me.
Okay. There's a story there behind that, I think.
My dad is a machine. Seriously, he can drive forever, and he's a very trustworthy driver. He's great.
You can all sleep well in the back.
Timothy and I usually only drive while Dad is sleeping for about 8 hours, and Dad drives the other 16 hours. If we're driving straight through, he can...
Well, you've gotten used to this. As you mentioned, 300 dates a year is a lot of traveling.
And my main responsibility is to... make sure that no checks bounce.
Oh, okay.
He's the CFO.
Okay.
To keep the cash in the right accounts at the right time.
And
That's
one
good.
other very important thing that Dad does is he supports Mom in all the management and running the business decisions that Mom makes.
Yeah, it is the case that the chief executive officer of our operation is my wife. She, besides being a wonderful wife and mother, and as fine a person as you will ever meet, she is a genius. And not only is she a genius, but
she
right is
now.
Blessed with superlative organizational and creative skills. So she's just always thinking of something for us to do.
Yay.
Good things for us to do, some of which we gear up to do, and others we don't quite get
resist.
to.
It sounds like you run a tight ship, Sister Dutton.
I am the organizer.
And I'm the one that sees that all of the tax returns get done.
Dad stays very busy. It's a good thing he has his background in economics. He helps keep all the finances in check.
Keeps the money in check.
There is a reason behind this allocation of responsibility. My husband is the bishop of the Branson Second Ward in Branson, and when he was called almost 6 years ago now, we had a little sit down about that, and I said, well, I will run the business the best I can and free up as much of your time as possible so that you can be the kind of bishop that you want to be. And because I am good at organizational things, I try to manage the different businesses that we own and oversee 55 employees at the complex.
Really? Wow.
Yes, and but what's been a beautiful transition the last couple of years. I'm 63 now, and Dean is 73, and so we won't be able to run things forever. And so we have divided up our businesses with areas of responsibilities, and it's been great to see our adult children rise to the occasion and see them take over and take charge of different areas. It's been
neat.
Wonderful.
That is neat.
My mom is, my dad is correct. She is a genius, and she's just has this entrepreneurial spirit, this amazing creativity. She's always thinking of new projects, new things to do. She's the reason why we did our first PBS special, which spawned 3 others. She's the reason why we just are doing all sorts of different things and kind of stay forefront on what we're doing in our industry. And she's just thinking of other things to do. She's actually in charge. We own a business, a sticker business called it's called Scripture Stickers. You may have seen those. And we run that. We have my brother Joshua, who actually is going to Brigham Young University. He's not currently performing with us. He runs that business out of Provo. We live in Branson, Missouri. Missouri. And we do all sorts of different things, and my mom is just continually thinking of different ways that we can be more successful. So we're really grateful for her.
That's great. That's great. So talk about what you do, your official responsibilities. Amy?
I'm Amy, and I'm actually the show producer. So that takes up all of my time, my extra time, besides the time I get to spend with my family. Basically, everybody comes to me with ideas for the show, especially my mom. I know we've been talking a lot about mom, but she always has the best ideas. And then I kind of organize everything and make sure the music's arranged, whether I do it myself or my brother Tim does it, or if we have outside help. We do most of it ourselves. I make sure we have the right costumes, and then I contact people for set designs and whatever it is. I do the whole big picture and make sure it all gets done, which is a huge job when we open up a new show, and then after the show opens, then it's I get a little bit of rest, but then it's back to getting ready. Like right now, we're getting ready for the Christmas show, and we're getting ready for the Christmas show, which opens on Halloween.
And that's in Arizona, right?
Normally, actually, it opens in Branson. Normally, the Christmas season in Branson opens on November 1st. But Halloween is a Monday, and we have some groups booked that day, so we actually get to start our Christmas show on Halloween this year.
That'll be interesting.
And then we move out to Arizona. I think our first Christmas show in Arizona is on December 8th. But anyway, so those are my responsibilities. My husband, he when we started dating, my mom hired him to run the spotlight for us, and then he got interested in the lighting end of things, and he took some lighting design classes. So he's our lighting director and designer.
Very gifted lighting designer. He has just an artistic feel, and he does very creative and appealing light designs for us.
And he does a great job at that. He designs it. We usually have someone else run it because he's actually an attorney. So while we were dating, he was going to school, and he always knew he wanted to be an attorney. And now he has his own law practice in Branson. So my last name.
And he's the family attorney, right?
Yeah, he's the family attorney. He's our business attorney as well. But he does family law and different juvenile law and that. But our last name's actually Arambolo, so it's Rudy Arambolo, Rudy and Amy Arambolo. But I'm a Dutton as well. And we have 4 children, so that's kind of a synopsis.
You are also your principal instrument is the violin. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm the lead violinist or fiddle player.
You've won a
both.
number of awards, haven't you, in the Branson area and other areas?
The last 4 or 5 years, I've been voted Branson's best violinist.
Oh, what an honor!
That's
great.
An honor, and I love to play. So, and I went to school at Brigham Young in their music program and majored in classical violin.
That's great. What an achievement, especially in a place like Branson, which is known for its music. That's awesome.
It's so much fun. There's over 150 shows, and we own one of the something like 30 theaters, and we were one of the main shows in Branson. So
that's great.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Benjamin, talk about what you do. Your on-stage and off-stage responsibilities.
Well, on stage, I do a lot of things. I play most of the instruments on our stage. I'm the key cello player. I also went to Brigham Young University and was majoring in cello performance. And I also do a bit of the comedy. In the show, you'll meet my identical cousin, Julio.
An imaginary cousin?
Yeah, my identical cousin Julio. I guess I'll reveal I wear a wig. He's from Spain, and that's actually where I served my mission in Spain. So it's another side of me that comes out in the show.
Julio has a following, and he's pretty funny.
So you're asking about the instruments. Page. There's actually, Julio Dutton on Facebook. So, but anyway, you're asking about the instruments. There is a new instrument that we use. I don't know how many, but an assortment of tuned bulb horns like you would see on a bicycle, but attached to a suit all over Julio's body. So whenever I move an arm, flex my arm or bend my leg, a horn will honk. And so there's a whole, it's just a plethora of beautiful music with Julio.
I can imagine.
Let me mention that Ben is also one of our main mandolin players. And he plays the guitar a fair bit. He is not taken to the banjo, however.
No, I stayed far away from the banjo.
That's why he never had as many dates as I did. I still didn't play the banjo.
But I'm very involved off the stage and I also dance. I'm the main dancer.
So you're a choreographer for the group.
Yeah, I choreograph. We all kind of get together with all of the choreography in the family, and but I do a lot of high energy dancing in the show. And sweat a lot and have fun.
Every show we try to have a beautiful or rip-roaring dance piece with Ben and his beautiful wife, Brandy. They're a great dance couple.
My wife and I, we've been married 11 years, and best 11 years of my life. And Brandy and I always dance together. Brandy also sings sometimes in the show. And then off the stage, I'm very involved with marketing and sales. I spend a lot of time just talking with people involved with the business, ticket sellers. My wife as well does that with me. She's in charge of, last year I think we sold 6 tons of fudge. She's the main fudge
World famous
maker,
fudge, I hear.
World famous Dutton fudge, so come and get a free sample. And we also, I'm in charge of our Arizona business, which is in December. Our first show this year will be on December 8th in Arizona, and we're there until the first part of April. We absolutely love it. Our theater is on Main Street, just west of Sossaman in Mesa, Arizona. And we've partnered with a wonderful charter school called East Valley High School. We renovated their theater, and so we have the exclusive use of this beautiful theater for 4 months out of the year. It's a time, and that area is so wonderful. We have so many winter visitors. A lot of retired people, a lot of families, a lot of people that just love to see our show. We get all ages in Arizona, and we work really hard to make, and it's been an amazing success. We've been going out there for 6 years, but this last year was the first year we opened our own theater. And it's been a lot of work, but very, very rewarding.
That's great. Tim, what do you do for the business?
Well, on the stage in the show, I play all the instruments, and I sing and I dance. And I've just enjoyed the music all my life, and it's been exciting to me to learn the different instruments. And growing up in high school, I also played music with some friends in a couple of different bands, and enjoyed that a whole lot. I also help with some of the musical arrangement in the shows, and mainly in the shows right now, I'm playing guitar and banjo and mandolin. Well, I guess I play everything in the show.
Tim is amazing. We actually feature him on a song because he plays every instrument, but he plays it really well, and so. He goes through and he plays every instrument on stage on one of the songs.
Wow.
And we feature him that way. And he's, like he said, he helps me a lot with the musical arranging. He's really good with music theory. Whenever I forget something, he remembers it all. So I always go to him and have him help me.
Or at least it's more than you do, so that it seems like I know it.
You're also a recording engineer, right? So you recorded all the family CDs.
Yeah, I've recorded all of our music projects and also the sound for our TV special, and that was a lot of fun. Big project, but I learned a lot, and it was very rewarding to finish that project. That's one of my passions, is to do the recording.
Oh, that's great.
And all of them are really quite fine vocalists, and we emphasize that quite a bit in our show, the vocal harmonies with a few solos, but not very many. Most of it is ensemble vocals.
Yeah, and it really is beautiful. I've listened to it. It's just wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And there's a few things that I do off stage as well. I design and maintain our website, theduttons.com, and I'm involved with computers and technical things in our business. And my wife and I together manage our Branson performing business at the theater in Branson.
Oh, okay.
We head up the marketing and advertising, all the business aspects behind doing the show there in Branson. And I'm also one of the bus drivers when we go on tour. And am I forgetting anything? That's what I do.
Basically, Timothy and Judith are the managers of the theater as far as they manage all of our employees.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear from Judith. Yes. Judith is here as Tim's wife and also representing all of the spouses of the Dutton family.
We have been married now for 17 years. We just had our anniversary a few days ago.
That's great. Congratulations. Judith, talk about what it's like to be a spouse married into the Dutton family.
Oh, goodness, I've been one for so long, I practically feel like one now. I can say that it could have been a shock, but it wasn't. Mm-hmm. When I first married Tim, the family was very welcoming. It was very unusual situation. The family was still touring extensively when we got married, and so in the first 6 months we were married, I saw all 48 of the continental United States. Wow. Within 6 months, it was quite an adventure. I play piano for the show now. At the time, I just traveled with them and ran a little bit of sound. As a spouse, I found it incredibly and amazingly rewarding. Not only to do the shows, that's kind of one of the lesser aspects of what I do in the business, but to have the opportunity of working with all of these fine people who are not just my husband's family, but they're also my family now, and to have such amazing opportunities to work and to grow in areas that I thought I would never have expanded my horizons into: business management, marketing, all kinds of things. I was a design major originally, and so I do a lot of our advertising design and et cetera, but I've been able to go on and not just design it, but negotiate those ads and try to get us better prices and negotiate with the ticket sellers in town and why they should sell more of our tickets and all sorts of. I'm kind of the catch-all for all sorts of interesting things that happen around the theater.
Judith is working constantly. Yeah, she's an amazing, amazing worker. And she said that the performing is kind of a lesser part of what she does, but she is so integral in our stage performance. Mm-hmm. She has a fantastic voice, one of the best voices in the family. She plays the keyboards throughout the whole show. She dances and is just involved on every song. Mm-hmm. So she's a major role in our performing.
And, you saw the bus out there.
Mm-hmm.
She designed
oh, really?
The wrap for the bus.
Oh, it's
along
impressive.
With help from Tim.
I was going to say, I couldn't have done that without Tim.
Tim helped with all the technical stuff.
He kept the computer running until we actually got it cranked out.
That's great. And you write the bios for everybody on the website.
Anybody that does not write their own bio has to put up with my writing of it. Therefore, if you don't want anything really silly written about you, you have to.
What's neat? What's neat about hearing this is hearing how you've taken the talents, the strengths of each individual in the family, and they've been put to use, but they've also blossomed into other things and really grown.
And it's been really interesting, not only for me, but to see my fellow Dutton spouses expand into and blossom and grow into individuals that not only help us with, the backstage stuff, which is just amazing. There's so much done backstage. People don't even realize what it takes to run a show like that. But they all have a token moment on the stage. My sister-in-law, Bella, Jonathan's wife there from Samoa, does a beautiful Polynesian dance in the show, and it just is such an amazing highlight. Just this last show we did in Alaska, we normally have a very large percentage of the audience, which is repeat in Branson, people that have seen us before. Mm-hmm. And on the cruise, for the first time in a long time, the majority of the audience had never seen us. And that moment where Jonathan's wife, Bella, came out and started to dance, you could almost hear an audible gasp from the audience. They were so not expecting that moment, and it was just so beautiful and so stunning. You just kind of had an aha moment in the whole audience. You just almost hear the intake of breath and how beautiful she was. And they, of course, don't know what an amazing person she is backstage and how she's, counting all the counting the monies backstage and making sure with Dad that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And then Benjamin's wife, Brandy, and what an integral part. She shows up in my office every morning and asks me for a list of who needs to be visited, what businesses do we need to contact. I could not do a lot of the jobs I do without Bella and Brandy as my support team, making sure we get all this marketing and things done. The day-to-day mom is our amazing big picture person, and then Bella and Brandy and I are the day-to-day make sure that the building gets locked at night people.
That's great. Seems like a dawn to dusk, well, past dusk business, doesn't it? You're really going all day, aren't you?
It has been challenging, but all good things come from a lot of hard work. And our lives are just are full to overflowing in many ways, and I think we'd all like our lives to be a little bit easier, but then we look at the rewards and it compensates.
Well, and I kind of think about through the past years and having to work so hard. We were able to spend so much quality time with each other and just so many good memories. But it also kept us out of trouble, which is good. And just being able to work together. Ben's over here laughing.
It was a marvelous preparation for missions. Every one of our boys, as they went on their missions, would write home and say, "Oh, it's so nice here in the MTC. We can actually sleep stationary, and we have all this time to read. We feel like we're on vacation."
Oh, really? Wow, and the MTC is hard work.
Yeah, how many people?
But it was a break for us.
It was very interesting, the reaction of all of the boys as they entered the MTC, how they felt that was a lot easier than what they had been doing before. They really enjoyed the MTC experience because of the regular schedule, and they had time to read more so than they had before, and they just loved their whole missions as well.
And then
wonderful.
we worked the adopted children in the same way, whether it was with lights or sound. And Sam now is the youngest, is serving in the Ukraine Kiev mission.
Oh.
And every letter is, "I just love it here. I just love it. I just love it." And had he not had to work so hard beforehand, I don't think he would have felt that way.
Oh, that's great. Let me just remind our listeners that you're listening to Why I Believe on the Mormon channel of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Our guests today are the Dutton family from Branson, Missouri. I'll spend half of their year also in Arizona in the entertainment business. And if we could, I would love to turn to Jessica for just a minute. Jessica is the only grandchild here, but you represent 23 grandchildren of the Dutton family.
Yes.
How is life in the Dutton family as a grandchild? What do you do as part of this business?
This opportunity is great because us grandkids get to earn money for college and for missions and for things that may come up in our lives as we grow up. Being in the show and having to do jobs teaches us a sense of responsibility that I don't think we would have been able to learn otherwise.
And what kind of things do you do as part of the business?
Off stage, I sell fudge in the lobby, and I work concessions, and I usher. And backstage during the show, I'm kind of like the manager of the children.
Oh, really?
I make sure everyone's there, that all the kids are where they're supposed to be, that, who's going out now, and push them out.
Go.
And make sure they get off stage, make sure they don't run on stage when they're not supposed to.
Well, and Jessica, she sounds very mature. She's actually just 14, and she's helps a lot, like she said, and she's also on stage. Why don't you tell them what you do on stage?
On stage, I sing a song with my sister called Cowboy Sweetheart, where we yodel.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow, that's a neat talent.
And then I play violin in the show, and I also play 4 other instruments. Guitar, bass guitar, piano, and drums.
Wonderful. Wow, that is amazing. So I have a question for you, Jessica. When you're selling fudge, do you ever get tempted to just take a little taste every now and
Every once in a while.
She's got to be quality check on the fudge. Someone's got to do it. It's an awful job.
So it is an important job,
It's
yes.
very important.
Well, thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
It sounds like an important job. Are all of the grandchildren involved?
Nearly all of them. 3 of them are Joshua and Yvette's kids, and Joshua's going to school to BYU in Provo, Utah. So 20 of the grandchildren are in the show, 3 of which are me and my siblings. And it goes from my age 14 down to a few weeks old.
Wow, that's neat. That's neat. We have about 10 minutes left in our program, and I'd love to cover with you the effect that you as a family have on your audience, especially from the point of view of being a member of the church. You have a unique opportunity to share a family environment and entertainment with an audience, and there's an effect there, I think, of seeing a family united, working together. There's an effect this day and age on an audience who sees that. And I'm wondering what kind of experiences you've had, both from the perspective of sharing that family unity, but also the opportunities you've had maybe to share points of the gospel with others in your travelings and in your shows as you do them. Talk about that. Anybody who would like to share that.
When I became aware that the Lord would on occasion send His Spirit to be at our shows, it was an extremely humbling experience. And as I mentioned earlier, I was sort of a reluctant beginner to do this. One of the early experiences that comes to my mind was in Versailles, France. We were eating after the show at the branch president's home. And I remember his dear wife. She was working in the kitchen. She came in with tears coming down her face, and she said, "I can't prepare the food, I have to tell you. My father tonight, for the first time in our lives, said something good about the church." And she talked about his opposition and how she had tricked him into coming to the show by letting him think we were not members of the church. And halfway through the show, she leaned over and said, "Oh, I guess they are members of the church because they said Mr. Dutton teaches at BYU." And at the end
That's a dead giveaway, isn't it?
Yeah, right. At the end of the show, what a delight this gentleman was. He wanted us to come and stay at his home. He had gifts he was giving us, and he couldn't have been warmer and kinder. And she said, "That's the first time that my father has ever said anything good about our church." And the first time, he'd always even refused to go into the church. That show happened to be at the church. That taught me that there are ways to reach people that were outside of my previous realm of experience. And I embraced that wholeheartedly, and I learned how the Lord touches people's hearts and in amazing ways. And even today, after 20 years, someone will come up and say something to me, and I'll just be humbled all over again. I'll think, oh my gosh, because we don't see it. You know, we're on the stage performing, and we don't know what the Lord is doing for people. I've had women write me big, long letters about how they went home and tried to be better people because they were at our show. And we don't preach in our show. We don't bear testimony in our show in a overt way. We just be ourselves and have fun. But there's something there that resonates with people, and I'm always humbled by that.
It's neat. Brother Dutton, you had something you'd like to share.
Life offers many opportunities, and all of our children are bright and resourceful. There are several things that they're interested in other than doing music and performing with the family and working in the family business. But the reason that we are doing what we are doing together is because we all feel right about it. As conflicts arise, which are natural in situations where people work closely together to achieve a single thing. People have different ideas and different feelings about how things should be done and when things should be done. And sometimes that results in a little bit of conflict, and sometimes voices are raised and feelings are hurt. The thing that we can take credit for, I think, in this is that all of us are committed to working through these conflicts and smoothing over the hurt feelings, where our love for each other, and even deeper than that, our love for the Lord and our commitment to do what is right enables us to work through the conflicts and be able to maintain this bond of love which holds us together. Mm-hmm. All of us are committed to live the gospel of Jesus Christ, and we make effort every day to do that as good as we can. And with that commitment, then everything else just sort of falls into place. The love that we feel for each other and the love that we feel for the Lord keeps us going in the right direction. And as we're involved in this effort together, it just happens to be something that puts us right in front of the public, in contact with people every day. And this commitment in our hearts to live the gospel of Jesus Christ just sort of shows through to people. And the Lord uses us, I believe, because we're trying to live righteous lives, we're trying to do what's right. The Lord uses us as instruments to touch people's hearts. We do the kind of music that just makes people feel good. It's lively, upbeat, just joyful music, and almost everybody likes the kind of music we do. And people will comment on the music and say how much they like the music, but as often as they comment on the music, there's another feeling that they have, which isn't the music. It's associated with the music, and the only way that most people can express the feeling they have in their heart is, what a wonderful family you are. You're just so blessed and so lucky to have such a wonderful family. And I believe that that's the Spirit of the Lord touching people and confirming what the prophets have articulated in the doctrine of the family, that's just a sacred institution. The Lord works through families to do a whole lot of His work, bringing people to Christ and accomplishing His work and His glory to bring to pass the immortality and eternal life of man.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thought.
I'd like to add a perspective, lest anyone in our listening audience thinks that you have to have a lot of children to be happy, or travel to exotic lands, or have some singular experiences. Given the fact that I am a grandmother now and I've had a full life, I just want to say that the greatest joys in life are the simple things, and I'm so grateful for the Lord's plan for His church. The greatest joys that I find are in the temple blessings. The greatest joys I find are in preparing a gospel doctrine lesson, where I feel at one with great men that I look forward to meeting in the next life. The greatest joys I feel are one-on-one with a grandchild. I just feel like that all of the variety of experiences that we've talked about here, they've been wonderful, and they've been a way for us to do a work. But the greatest joys are there for us all to partake of. I just feel so strongly about that at this particular time in my life. That's what it's all about.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I just want to thank you, the Dutton family, for taking the time in your busy schedule to come and join us here on Why I Believe, for our listeners to get to know you and to feel of your spirit and your testimonies. It's been wonderful to visit with you and to hear your stories and especially your testimony about the gospel of Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for being with us today on Why I Believe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You've been listening to Why I Believe on the Mormon Channel. For more information about this program and other programs, and to download this program, you can go to mormonchannel.org. Thank you for being with us today. Have a great day.